Good day everyone, we are the group 5. We are going to discuss the module 3, lesson 1, which is Information Society, the Age of Computerization. In this lesson, we should be able to determine the human and social impacts of the development in the information age, discuss the evolution of technology from the ancient times up to the present, and illustrate through a caricature the effects of social media to the lives of the people. Lesson map: Information Society, the Age of Computerization, social and human impacts of the development in the information age, evolution of technology.
So let's talk about the Explore, comprehending the dynamic relationship of the information society. So, humans are surrounded on all sides by technology claiming to supply information. Television, smartphone, and internet devices, among others. However, though they all provide information or just noise, more voices are trying to get our attention. But how can we be sure that they share knowledge and the truth? To answer this basic question, a short historical background might prove useful. Before the printed word and written word has prevalent, yet the intent to carry information has been present. Social and human impacts of development in the information age. Information age. The age of information refers to the period in our human history when information technology has become globally pervasive, replacing the traditional method in doing things. Humans are surrounded on all sides by technology claiming to supply information. Television, smartphone, and internet devices. Many communication services like texting, email, and social media developed, and the world has not been the same since. People learn new languages easier, and many books have been translated into different languages, so people around the world can be more educated. So that is the impact of our information age.
B. Information. A word is a combination of sounds that represent something. This makes the word distinct from simple vocal utterances. Words are informed because they carry information or meaning. We use words in communicating. Hence, we technically communicating meanings. Example: when a person says the word plant, that automatically means he is referring to an organism which has leaves, stem, and roots. A simple utterance made by a person like BBBLLLL does not represent anything. Hence, BBBLLL is not a word.
The role of language. Language is the ability to name and classify objects found in nature in the first step of knowing. Hence, in our search for knowledge, language is a very useful and essential. It is clear that thinking in terms of a common system being generated by the speaker and received by the listener is useful in the pursuit of knowledge. Examples of the role of language, which followed by words can function across space and time without reducing or changing the meaning. Example: it is impossible for a student to learn how to cook if does not communicate with a more knowledge person. Next, unifying factor or metaphysis by Desjardins and one of the many by Plato are concepts that show the universality of meaning of given word. There are several roles of language. First, Language in expression takes the main and important role to communicate between student to student and teacher to student. Second, language in student needs. According to modern psychology in education, each and every student have different characteristics. Fourth, language in aesthetic. As the melody is the main component to compose a music, same as language in the main component to make literature. That's why, though the language an artist can express her idea. Fifth, language in society. Those students who will develop themselves through the proper education in future, they will participate in a role to make a better society. 6. Language in self-introduction. Children adapt their social language as her own language. Their language play an important role for the society. 7. Language in practical. To express the emotion like happiness, sorrow, anger, etc. Human needs language. In addition, language takes the main and important role in human life. The uses of a particular language, it may increase the popularity of that language by the people, and day to day, people used to speak and write on the language. A language can make a nation. At last, I can state that a language takes a central role in educational of society.
Mathematics as the language of nature. Science, people in the ancient times discovered the laws and language of nature. They can develop technology that uses these laws and language for their benefits. This language is mathematics, a contribution of Isaac Newton. The mathematics is the same all over the world. Math can act as a universal language. A phrase or formula has the same meaning regardless of another language that accompanies it. In this way, math helps people learn and communicate even if other communication barriers exist. Technology world. Technology is literally a fruit of science. Scientific principles pave way for human discoveries and inventions. Western thinkers harness the force of nature after understanding them better. Many of the inventions in the antiquity were used as basis for succeeding developments. The technology is the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life, or as it is sometimes praised, to the change and manipulation of the human environment.
Printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in 1440. This was made to convert the handwritten text kept in monasteries for hundreds of years into printed forms. Knowledge were preserved in printed books. Dissemination of information across the world becomes easy and convenient. The invention of printing press marked the beginning of true revolution. Printing press machine by which text and image are transferred from movable type to paper or other media by means of ink. Movable type and paper were invented in China, and the oldest known extant book printed from movable type was created in Korea in the 14th century. Printing press became mechanized in Europe during the 15th century. The printing press allows us to share large amounts of information quickly and in huge numbers. In fact, the printing press is so significant that it has come to be known as one of the most important inventions of our time. It drastically changed the way society evolved.
The World Wide Web, or WW, commonly known as the web, is the information system enabling documents and otherwise resources to be accessed over the internet. Documents and downloadable media are made available to the network through web servers and can be accessed by programs such as web browsers. A particular collection of web pages that belong to a specific URL is called a website. Example: www.facebook.com, www.youtube.com, www.internet.com, www.freecodecamp.com, and www.word.com, www.drive.com, and last www.google.com.
The Module 3 is the scientific issues in the science and technology and the society. Tim Berners-Lee is his contribution the World Wide Web and Internet. Tim Berners-Lee is the British scientist who invented the World Wide Web and WWW in 1989 while working at CERN. The web was originally considered the developed to meet the demanded automatic information to sharing between scientists in universities and institutes around the world. Top 10 uses internet sources in 1995. Number 1. Electronic mail. At least 85% of the inhabitants of cyberspace send and receive email and some 20 million messages across the internet every week. Number 2. Research. And number 3, files. And number 4, discussion groups. These include the public groups such as those on the onset and the private, making less and less served manners. Number 5, interactive games. Who has cried down at least one game? And number 6, education itself important. Online courses and workshops have found yet another outfit. And number 7, friendship. In the dating, you may be surprised at the number of electronic personnel that you can find on the worldwide. And number 8, electronic newspaper and magazine. This category includes late breaking news, weather, and sport. We're likely to see this category leap top 5 the next several years. Number 9, job hunting. Classified ads are in abundance, but most are the technical position. In the last number, number 10, the shipping is difficult to believe. That category even ranks it upper that cyber malls are more serious to shopper. That's all this of this reporting.